Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Bus. On this one, we are putting a front mount intercooler on the Luxy, so enough that hot air pumping straight from the turbo across the engine into the engine. Enough of that. So anyways, I haven't done this before. Let's see how it goes. Might fuck it up, but she'll be right. Yeah, let's get into it. So just before we get into this intercooler install, I just want to go over why the content has been a bit sparse this year. So I'm actually married now. I had to pay for a wedding, so I had some obviously funds had to go towards that, not towards my cars because that was more important. But now I am a married man, so now I can start to think about putting some money into these again. And I do have some stuff lined up for this, but yeah, just wanted to let everyone know that there will be more content, and we'll be starting to get a bit more of a consistent upload schedule going on. So yeah, that's just wanted to fill everyone in. Time to rip it apart. So I've just removed my aerial and kind of unplugged everything that I need to. I'm going to start unbolting it. Hopefully it all goes to plan and I don't get squished because I'm doing this by myself. So, nah, just kidding, we'll be right. So bull bar off, grill off with the super complicated mounting system. Now the condenser is actually going to come off because the aircon doesn't work. Don't need the aircon. Compressor's coming out to save us more space for intercooling, more space for piping. So pretty much if you want to do a front mount intercooler on one of these 106s, you do need to pull this off. You can do top mounts, no worries, but front mounts, you don't really have crap loads of space to play with anyway. So gonna rip this off. It's all boring stuff, so I'll skip right after it. Now that the condenser's out, we can start to look at mounting up the intercooler. So I've already figured out where the bottom holes need to be in this little bit of crash bar, so that way the bottom plugs of the intercooler can fit in. So now it's just time to drill some holes. The drill bits weren't quite big enough to just drill out to the size I needed, so I did have to get my die grinder out and just trim these out further. So these can be pretty dangerous die grinders, so if you are going to use one, it is always important to at least wear some eye protection. After die grinding out the holes for the bottom intercooler plugs, I now have to drill the holes for the top mounting bolts. Here it is. This has just got a random bolt in there for the moment. This one is forever one, but that's the intercooler on. So this is just a 450mm by 230mm intercooler. Like I said, I just looked at Facebook, looked at the Facebook LN106 chat trade, whatever, and that's the side that everyone says would fit once you've removed your aircon condenser. Now I'm going to do some silicon right angles. I've already got a hole saw because I didn't want to go around with having to try die grind it out and getting a perfect circle. So instead of doing that, I'll just go plonk, figure out where I need it, and then just straight through there, straight through this side. Then I can start having a look at the plumbing. I'll do this side first because it's less brain work, and then this side I've got to I'll have to take the whole turbo and everything off, so that way I can rotate the housing. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to trim this down, just cut it down just to see roughly where I'm going to need that hole to the 3-inch hole. Goes through there somewhere where it's going to ideally miss this. I've got some other bends and stuff I can use. And yeah, so I think I'm going to just cut him down like just far enough back from the bend, so like cut him down to there. That's our line, and then roughly I'll check it all properly before I do cut it, and then yeah, that's where that'll be sitting. Alright, I've marked my hole out now. Just going to whiz him through here. Just going to do our first test fit of this side. So if I've done it all correctly, So I've done a bit of piping along here. I've just made sure that the lid on this fits and everything. It's, you know, not that good, being that it is the first time I've done anything like this. So I did go on for a little bit longer yesterday without filming. Essentially all I've done is I've changed from all the loop pipes that I was going to have to go here. I've just bent in the top of the airbox, so that way this bit of straight pipe just down here can fit. I've done the front intercooler, it's all mounted in, it's got bolt holes which are now painted. I'm going to get some grommets so that way I can get it all spaced out nicely where it needs to sit. I've put some cut these out, spray painted with some pinch weld. Just cut those out so the bottom sits in, cleaned up all the metal shavings, and then I've done the same with this side with some pinch weld. And now what's next for me today, I've got to get everything fitting up nicely, but this will be coming through here, and I've got to turn the turbo housing around so that way he can just go plumb into there. It is making a bit of contact with my battery. This battery is oversized for the car anyways. I have noticed that this is kind of in the way, that's why I've bent the lid in just a little bit. I'm sure you can see it in there. So I am planning on replacing this with a stainless box anyways, so I'm not too fussed about that, and this will need to go, this all just needs to plumb straight into this up here. Essentially what I'm trying to do is rotate this housing around, so I'm going to slip that off, and it should hopefully just clear everything. I always like to go back the other way. I hope that's not the case, but we will see. I have decided that we're pulling off the front of the turbo because I am having the worst time trying to do what I'm trying to do. So we're just going to whack the front half of the turbo off. So just going to pull this off. So I'm not going to lie, I did attempt to turn this. The tools I had were just not cutting it, I'm sure, as you can see from this video. So I actually just went to my old fella's work and just got his tools and got his assistants to quickly just turn the housing. So that's turned now. So down. Let's hope it fits. I did bring the tool with me just in case I needed to do it again. So I thought I'd just take a second to stop and explain what I'm doing. So I've had this housing turned around. It's all connected up now. It's all on nice and securely. I'm still going to have to put that there. But the pipe that I had going from here to here, which was in here, like this, is too long, or rather this U-bend's too long. So I'm just going to cut as much of this, or not U-bend, this 90 degree. I was going to cut as much of this 90 degree as it will allow me to seal up, and then that will just slip back in, and then we should be happy day. All right, so we've got essentially one side. I'll put it all together, and then we can just say it's done. Then we've got to start thinking about our side, which I think I'm just going to have to cut some stainless steel 2-inch pipe. They only gave me two straight bit of pipes for the kit that I got, so put me a little bit. It's been stressful, but we're good. We're all right. Here's this, finally. We've got the piping kit all done for this side. I'm not really happy with clearancing and stuff, but as I do with everything, this is just going to be the first iteration. I'm planning on welding up some pipes, getting a smaller battery, getting a different airbox, and just, you know, giving the engine bay a bit more love. And then once, yeah. But for the moment, I'm like, first time doing any intercooler piping, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Could have been much worse, to be honest. And yeah, so not 100% sold. I don't know how it's going to come across on camera, but it's with the setup, but it's good. There's nothing rubbing. There's, apart from this bit on the battery down here, they're rubbing, but we can pull that off. And also I'm going to get a new battery, a smaller one ASAP. So yeah, I'll keep going and try and get the rest of this bit of intercooler pipe going into the intake is all in and good and ready. Just cut a bit of stainless steel from the existing pipes I had, and then got to size up. I got this back on, which is just, you know, bringing in the air from the outside, the airbox, and then just this, which is all connected up yet. Like I said, I still have to make a bracket up for this. but that's going to be a little bit tricky, but nothing too hard. I'm just going to have to bend up some bar or something, I think. Here we go. So the mount wasn't quite working for me. It looks a bit mangled for sure. Being that it's the first time I've done anything like this, I've done my best to try and bend it up to where I need it. So if you have a look at there, I'm going to need to get a longer torque rod end or some shit like that. Either way, so I'm going to need to get a new one of these for here, which no biggies. I've got it all lined up now, which was a fucking struggle, let me tell you that much. So I've now trimmed up the bonnet latch bracket, and then all I've done is cut the bottom off so it can sit and not touch the intercooler. And then I've also changed it, so I've just elongated these holes to keep this little part off the top of the intercooler. While I was doing that, I had a quick look at the grill. So if you want a turbo, if you want to intercool your LN106, you will need to chop this off. Along with, there's two little tabs here on the grill. Alright, this is completely on now. See that? There's no contact being made in between that and that. I've just given it a little tap of black paint on the bottom. I've bolted it in properly, got new bolts. Now I'm just going to put the grill on, and then I'll slip the bull bar on, and then we are good. We've got the new actuator rod end here. I've put it all on. I think because I've changed the way the bracket sits, it is... the boost is lower, so I will have to play with that, but that's no problem. It's sitting at about 6.5 pound instead of 9. So there we go. Here's the intercooler install on a 3L turbo LN106 Hilux. So there's three main things to consider if you do want to do this. Your aircon condenser, you'll either need to pull that out or get a really small intercooler to fit around it, or a thinner intercooler to fit around it. You'll also need, if you upgrade your battery to a bigger one, you'll need to go back down to the normal size. So I've done that. And also your airbox lid, because they're so big, if you've got a factory airbox, I'm planning to upgrade to a stainless steel one at some point. But yeah, if you've got a factory airbox lid, you will need to do some clearancing. So what I did, I just got the jack and put the lid in the jack, and then put it under the diff, and then just bent it around where I needed it. You can also use a hammer or whatever. But yeah, so they're the three main considerations you've got. So I figure I'll do something different for the end of this episode. I want to go over kind of the steps that I took. So it was pretty easy for this one. I just went on Facebook, the LN106 group, and from there I just searched front mount intercooler. Someone had a post. There was actually lots of posts. Someone had a post with the dimensions and everything, and they bought theirs off eBay. So I knew that there was a local Melbourne supplier that sells on eBay, so I did that. I had to get an actuator rod end once I turned that turbo housing around. But really, apart from that, it's pretty easy. If you've got an LN106 and it's getting a bit spicy on the EGTs, just go and put an intercooler on it. It did take me 3 days though, so keep that in mind. But anyways, let's wrap up this video. So I'm really happy with how this install's come along. I was a bit worried at a few points because it's a bigger job than I've ever undertaken. Doing some more custom piping and stuff, but in the end, I'm really happy with how it all came out. The EGTs and everything seem to be down lower, so yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. It's got no face on it no more. God damn.